All right, we should be live, bro.
Yes,
Let me
sir.
just let some people get in here first while we get started and double check that we're good. How's it going, man? It's been a
I'm doing
while.
good, man. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
Yeah, it looks like everything's good. Yeah, I'm happy to have you on here. It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah, it's been like a few months at least. I think the last time we talked was during the beat battle. But
Yeah. Yeah, we used to talk more before that, like when I was in Gunner's old server.
yeah, like we used to be in VC a lot. It's crazy, like how things like end up happening. You know what I mean? Like we were pretty much talking almost not every day, but like we were talking pretty frequently throughout the week, right? So it's cool.
Yeah, and then also when we had the deny thing going.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah, I
forgot
think
about that too. Wow.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
probably when we were most active.
yeah. That's like probably 2 years ago now. Yeah.
Shit, don't remind me.
That's 2 years ago, man. What are the
but
Where's the
but
time
yeah.
go?
For real, right? But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share this if you wanted to share the invite and everything like that too. We'll give
Yeah,
it
I'm just
a
posting it
minute or two.
on my story and everything.
Sure. But yeah, we got producer, YouTuber extraordinaire Pax on the
What's going
show
on?
today. You make great content. I just want to say that.
Thank you, Troy. I appreciate it. You guys make great content too. I watched all the Heat videos.
Oh
Very
yeah.
informative.
Yeah. The Heat content, even before I've been watching them for a while, even before I started working with them.
Mhm.
We shared the live link on the Heat Discord and we'll go ahead and get into it.
Yes, sir. Just make sure my link is working. It is. Okay, cool.
But yeah, how's everybody doing today? We got Pax on the show. We're gonna start
What's going
off
on?
with what's going on, bro? We're gonna start off with a little interview between us, talk about YouTube content creation, producing, underground artists, mainstream artists, all that kind of stuff. And then we're gonna take everybody's questions. If anybody's got anything they want to ask Pax, go ahead and start leaving those in the comments down below. And we'll come back to that in the second half of the stream. But yeah, it's good to have you on, bro. Thank you for taking the
Started?
time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Been on chop it up with you again for a while,
Yeah.
especially since you've been killing on YouTube lately.
Yeah, man. I've just been, you know, I can always striving to do better, but I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. Get the best content that I can produce out there.
Yeah. So, like, I just want to get started with it and like, how did you first get into like making music and making beats and everything?
So I grew up playing piano. I was like forced to play piano since I was like 6. Absolutely hated it. And then I stopped playing piano when I was like 13. I quit. And I took like a year off music completely. And then I got to high school. One of my friends sent me. He was telling me about FL Studio, um, and I just downloaded it. Started making beats for fun. They were terrible, like very bad. And then I was like, hey, this is actually like, pretty fun. And I'm enjoying making music again, right? Because I had all the music theory, like I had the background of it. I just wasn't making music that I enjoyed. So when I switched to FL and started making stuff that I actually, like to make, I really enjoyed the process of making music more. Um, and then I just kept making beats, kept making beats. I really think I started to make decent beats like in 2020. I think was my turning point. I started in 2018. So yeah, I just like kept making beats, and then I found some like artists that I like. I found underground artists in 2020 like Summers, Autumn, and I just like went crazy. Learned how to make plugin B, learned how to make Slay, all those kind of subgenres of like SoundCloud rap at the time. And I just kept progressing off of that. That was really it.
Yeah, that's sick. We got Shadow in the
Shadow, what's
comments.
up,
What's
bro?
good, bro? I love your content too, man. Shadow kills it too.
Shadow's a goat, bro. You guys got to get him
Yeah.
on here too.
Yeah, I would love that. Like, I think like my favorite YouTubers, like legitimate, is like probably you, Shadow, and then like a lot of the other guys covering like the more underground sound.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
I
How'd you
feel
get
like
into that? Or go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I feel like for me, who I love watching is other than my content, like when people ask me who else should I watch for like tutorials and stuff, I say watch Shadow and Dead Boy Aiden. Those are like my two guys
Oh
that I
yeah.
always go to.
Yeah, he kills it too. There's a
Yeah.
lot of younger dudes coming up making great content.
What were you gonna
But
say though when I cut you off?
yeah, no, I
You
was
go
just
ahead
gonna
with
ask
that.
like how you got into like underground music and like that kind of scene.
Pretty much through Gunner. We became friends early 2020, and he showed me Summers and Isaiah, and I absolutely hated them. They were I thought they were the worst, like so bad. I did not like them at all, right? And then, um, I just gave it more chances. I listened to them a few more times, and like I didn't want to admit that I liked them because like I first heard Summers, and I was like, this is bad, and like rightfully, like anybody that hears Summers for the first time, realistically, is not gonna like him as like in 2020 at least that's when he was doing like more experimental stuff. So if you were to hear Summers for the first time with his 2020 music, you probably wouldn't like him, which makes sense. But I just listened to him more, started to like him. And then that just kind of branched off. And then I started meeting producers in the underground because I was making, those kind of beats on YouTube, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's super accessible, especially in the underground, to just like get started and get working with people. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
versus mainstream stuff.
100%. Like there's so many opportunities, so many small producers that like grow so quick in the matter of a few months just by being in discords, being in group chats, sending out loops. It's just like little things that you can just take to grow. A lot of potential for everybody.
Yeah. Well, like you said, like Discord, that's how we met too, like back
Yeah,
in
exactly.
2020 or so. Cause I was just watching Internet Money live stream. Do you remember
Hmm.
back when DT used to react to music and shit like that?
Yeah,
And Gunner came up and I was like, yo, this dude's sick. Like I wanna work with him. So I like did the thing, like just messaged him, like, can I send you beats and all that? And
yeah.
then yeah, I sent him stuff, but nothing really came from that until he posted his Discord server one day.
Discord server. Yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna just
that's
hop in
wild.
there, see what's up. Yeah.
That's
And
wild
I
that
was
like
just
we met through a internet money live with the odd chance that you were in the live at the time that Gunner also paid to get a song played, and then you DM'd him. Like that's crazy how things work out, man.
yeah, like if I just tuned out like 5 minutes earlier, I would have like,
Exactly.
not met all the cool people I did through just that little chance encounter.
Yeah.
But that's why I like talking about like Discord and like networking in 2023. It's like that's where it's all at pretty much.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, Discord was like the foundation for tons of artists coming up right now. Like even I forget. I think it was in I forget what video it is, but Majins was talking about how he met like tons of people just through Discord servers and like mostly the underground. Like that's how people build connections. Like I think it was Slump Success and Tana. Like they became friends through Discord. I'm pretty sure. And that's just like one example of hundreds of examples of tons of people coming up just through online servers.
Yeah, like you just hop in some random voice chat and make friends.
That's what I mean. Yeah, just
Yep.
internet, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, so you've been killing it on YouTube lately. Like you've been pretty consistent with like pretty high quality content straight from the jump. How'd you get started making YouTube videos and get the idea from that and all that?
So originally, I started making videos. I always loved YouTube. I was a massive gamer. I made like gaming content when I was in middle school and stuff. Just like what everybody did, pretty much. And then a lot of this is from Gunner. Like he started making YouTube videos before I did. And he was like, dude, you got to do it. I'm doing it for artists. You got to make one, make a channel for producers. And I was like, all right. I'd say I started in June 2021. Videos are still up. I never take down any of my videos. They're terrible. All right. I'm nervous on camera. Editing is bad. The only thing that's really good were the beats. And I think that's why I somewhat grew when I was small because I was awkward on camera and the editing wasn't good and, all that. But the beats themselves and what I was saying were actually pretty decent for the time. Um, and then I just kept uploading, kept getting better at editing, kept getting better at thumbnails, and I got better at making beats in the process as well. So everything just kind of stacked up. And as of recently, I just feel like my content's been the best it's ever been. Growing the fastest I've ever grew. Editing is the best it's ever been. Thumbnails are the best. I think I'm overall a better, not even just content creator, but producer as well. And that all just kind of meshes together.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Cause I remember when you first started, like you could tell like you were still a little fresh, but
Yeah.
like quality wise, like you could see the potential and like what
Right.
it was gonna become, you know?
Yeah, I'm just
And
glad I
I'm
stuck
sure
with it.
like yeah, I'm sure like being friends with Gunner probably gave you a little bit more insight to like kind of get past that initial slump, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I saw what YouTube can do for people because I saw he grew at such a quick rate when he started, right? And I was saying like even if I don't grow that fast, it still shows what can happen in the long term, right? So I've just been, keeping my head down, keep working, trying to get, I feel like this year is well, obviously each year you're gonna get bigger because you're bigger than you were the year before.
Yeah.
But I feel like at the rate I'm going with the consistency I'm at, I feel like this year is gonna be a pretty big one. So I'm excited for that. Just gonna keep working.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see it. Huncho Jackass. You think Simon Servita can make a Summers type beat?
I've said this before, man. I love Simon Servita, but put me in a room with him and we have a beat battle, and I'm winning. All right. This is a threat. All right. If Simon ever sees this, Simon, I know you're in Toronto. All right. I'm not far.
Oh yeah.
Put me and
Shots
Simon in a
fired.
room. Put me and Simon in a room. That's all I'm saying.
Gotta make that video happen.
That would be crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
That'd be a crazy come up.
Yeah.
Because Simon came
No,
up off the Kyle Beats stuff, and it's like
that's what I'm saying.
you come up off of
Off of Simon.
taking him in a beat battle.
No, that's all I love to Simon Servita. He probably could make a song. Like he's really good on the keys. It depends what type of Summers beat you're talking about. Like plug and B, 100%. I think he can make a plug and B type beat. But like the glow stuff, I don't really know. I feel like he could. It would just take it. Like no one can make a type beat perfectly the first time they make it, right? But he's a talented guy. I don't see why he couldn't do it. So
Yeah. No, shout out Simon. He's one of the goats pretty much.
yeah.
So yeah. If he starts doing like Summers type beats, that's kind of like the gentrification of the underground even
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, Summers is up when Simon Servita makes a video on him.
Right. Plug and B gets even more saturated.
Yeah.
But yeah,
New emo
like
rap.
right. But yeah, like speaking of like underground artists like that, like I noticed like a lot of the content you make kind of centers around like that underground SoundCloud new wave niche kind of thing,
Yep.
which obviously like me and you know each other and we kind of made that kind of sound like when we first became friends and all that. But was your choice to make that type of content and focus on that like on purpose to kind of like come in on that niche that was getting a lot less attention than the mainstream artists were?
Yeah, 100%. Like right when I started, I knew if I'm at a few hundred subs, even before I was at a few hundred subs, I can't go and make a video on how to make Drake type beats or how to make Lil Baby type beats. I still can't do that now. I could, but doing a video on how to make a beat like Hard Rock, for instance, who's like just coming up right now, versus how to make a beat for Lil Baby, which I've also done at like similar sub rating. I had more subs when I made the Hard Rock video, but the view count is way different because it's so overly saturated when you're doing bigger artists. Even artists like Autumn, Summers, and even like Yeet was a big one. Yeet became super saturated. Um, but it's about getting them at the right time, right when they're coming up, because when you're searching how to make this kind of beat, or there's also always people trying to make type beats for that person, or like how can I make type beats for this artist when they're still small so I can get in the niche, and then they search how to make beats for Hard Rock, for instance, and there's only like 2 videos on them, right? So it's going to be very easy to grow that way, especially if you already have a foundation where I already have a few thousand subscribers and the video on Hard Rock already has a few thousand views. So if someone searches that, they're most likely going to click my video. And if I were to do, for instance, instead of Lil Baby, how to make beats for Lil Baby, there's tons of channels that are way bigger than me that have way more views on that kind of topic already. So it wouldn't make sense to to put yourself up against that much competition when you're still relatively small, when you can just find a pocket, find a niche that actually is growing and is not searched as much, and you'll just grow that way, man. That's how I did it. I feel like it's the best way to go for anybody that's new. Just find a niche and stick with it.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we got Gunner in the chat.
Gunner's in the chat.
What's good, bro? The emojis aren't translating well through
Yeah.
the screen,
Face
but
fuchsia tongue out. Face fuchsia tongue out.
but yeah, like I kind of did that same strategy. Yeah, because I noticed like when I become aware of a new upcoming artist, and then I'll see like the Pakzz video like a day later. And I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, I know
yeah.
that that's the strategy he's got and it's working.
Yeah, man, it's been working. I'm gonna stick with it. I've kind of been slacking a little bit because there's a few artists I still want to make videos on that I haven't. But I'm gonna get those out probably this month. But I'm always on the lookout for new people that are like just before, like they're right before they're gonna go crazy. Like that's the perfect time to make videos on them.
Yeah, same thing with type beats. That's like the gems
Yeah,
low
exact
key.
same thing.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's how I got attention, you know?
Yep.
'Cause I was like posting for like every day for like 6 months to like just kind of like 50, 100 views a day. But I
Hmm.
was always trying to pick an artist that I thought was gonna blow up, like on the verge
Yeah.
of blowing up. And then I got lucky because I posted a Sofego type beat
You went, yeah, crazy
back
with
in
that.
2020, like December.
Hmm.
And like those started getting views right away. And then like the next month he like blows up and then gets
Blew
signed to
up. Yeah.
Cactus Jack. And then my channel blew up too.
Yeah, you got the perfect time. You had the Sofego beats, and you did a lot of plug and B as well, right? During that
Yeah,
time, and you were so consistent, like uploading pretty much every day. And that just goes to show, man. Like you might be getting 50 to 100 views a day for 6 months, and then all it takes is one artist to blow up or one video to blow up, man. That's all it is. All right, it's just got to
exactly.
keep your it's like don't get discouraged if you're not getting views. Just keep working because like if you're gonna be consistent, if you're consistent, your beats are good. And I'm just saying for type beat wise, if you're
Mhm.
consistent and your beats are good, your content is gonna do well. If you're consistent and you're making videos, not type beats, you're making videos and your editing is good, your thumbnails are good, it's gonna do well eventually. As long as you're actually making content that people want to see and you're consistent with it, it's gonna do well eventually. So it's just,
Yeah.
keep working on it.
Yeah, for sure. I think you even use something like a graphic similar to that in one of your videos where it's like the YouTube graph, how it's kind of like flat line, and then it's like you quit here right before it spikes
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that.
Well, it's true, man. It happened to so many people. That's what happened with me. Like
Yeah.
that, like I literally have similar graphs where it's like I was getting, a few hundred views a day, a few hundred views a day, and it just takes one day. It takes one day. And the best way to look at it is when you spike and you go back down, you got to look at your lows. You never look at the highs. I learned this from Gunner. You got to look at your lows and not your highs because if your lows are higher than your previous lows, then you're growing. Highs can happen to anybody. You can just blow up one day and go back down. But if you blow up and then a week later your low days are higher than your previous low days, you're growing. And that's like the best way to look at it.
Yeah, no, that's huge gem right there because I feel like a lot of people will like have success from whether it's a type B channel or a regular YouTube channel. They'll have one video that does like way better than everything else, and
Hmm.
the projection for the channel is like on the up and up. But then once the steam from that pop-in video kind of slows down a little bit, the whole channel kind of goes back down.
Yeah.
So like seeing that can be very discouraging as a creator, but
Hmm.
it's like knowing the metrics, like how you said, is like the previous lows versus your new lows is like that's kind of the new baseline.
Right,
So it's
exactly,
like
yeah,
the
I mean,
next.
like, if you can make a video blow up like that, you can do it again, and I've had videos blow up in the past that I watch back now, and I'm like, that video wasn't even that good, I made it in, like, an hour and a half, you know what I mean? Like, I have content that I've taken way more time making and put way more effort into that has gotten way less views than this certain video, right? But it's just, like, you never know what people are gonna watch, like, the videos that you think are gonna do bad might do good, so take every video with a grain of salt. If something does bad that you thought was gonna do well, that could also mean something that you think is gonna do bad is gonna do well. So, it's just flip the script. They can both do well, they can both do bad. And if you have a video blow up and you go back down, try to use that as motivation to get there again instead of just, letting it discourage you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I've noticed like you got a really cool website. Like you use Shopify for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you sell like plug-in presets and loop kits and drum kits and all that. Like what are the best ways you found to monetize like your YouTube channel and all that through the website?
Honestly, the best way to monetize because my channel, if I were to not make any products and I was just relying on YouTube AdSense, I would not be able to do this full time because AdSense at this small of a channel, you're not making that much money. Um, but the best way to do it, honestly, is just make products that you genuinely would use yourself. So it's actually something you are not like lying to sell, something that you would actually use, so it's easy to sell to people. And just make videos. I haven't paid for any ads. I just make videos. I'll use my products in my videos, and then you just do that consistently. Because if you're making content every day, using the same products every day, someone is bound to, if they're good products, of course, someone is bound to get it at some point. Um, Not that ads are a bad thing. I just haven't done ads myself yet. I will do them in the future at some point. But the best way to market yourself if you're like just starting out with products is just honestly just make videos on them. I think shorts are a good way to do it now too, because shorts are on the come up.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think that's really it. Just make, for instance, I have a drum kit called the Ambience drum kit that's like perfect for a certain group of artists. So when that kit came out, I only made videos on that group of artists, and then I used that kit in all those videos. So I had like a Roll and Thorax video, I had a Homicide Gang video, I had a Isaiah TG video, and I had a Hard Rock video and a Dom Corleo one, all in like the same 2 weeks. And those all use the same drum kit. And that's like the easiest way to promote it, because someone who watched the Dom Corleo video might not also watch the Isaiah video, but you're using the same product in both of those. So different people are bound to see it.
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool to hear because, it's really interesting to kind of see you using more like traditional e-commerce type of marketing tactics, versus I guess what the usual producer community marketing content strategy is,
Right.
Yeah, like what other kind of things from like that kind of world, like e-commerce and Shopify, have you like learned about and kind of like implemented with your producing on your YouTube channel and everything?
I've looked a lot into like website SEO, and I used to do like, I never did it seriously and never like took off, but like I've been through drop shipping and like Amazon FBA. I've like looked into all that stuff, did it a little bit, nothing came out of it. It was all like during that time where I was doing YouTube, but I was like, man, I gotta make money. And then I would do that on the side, and I'd be like, I'm wasting my time doing this. If I just go all into YouTube, it'll be way better for me. But I watched a ton of YouTube videos on like Shopify, website SEO, drop shipping, how to like range your prices in products. So you have like a product you want people to go to, and like this one's kind of a side one to attract them to the other one depending on the prices. But I just think website SEO is like one of the most important things if you're a producer. Like if you're selling kits, selling them through BeatStars is always an option, right? But I feel like if you have your own website, it's just, I don't know. I feel like it feels more professional that way. Not that you can't sell through BeatStars, product wise and selling kits. I just feel like for me personally, I sold a lot more when I got a website versus when I was still just selling on BeatStars. So I just completely made the switch over.
Yeah, it's definitely like a whole different customer experience.
Yeah,
And I've noticed like all the other producers and like groups that are killing it, they all got like custom Shopify sites that look sick.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, so
it just sets you apart from everyone else, right? So it's definitely worth it to do so.
yeah, same thing with like just for selling beats, like how Ryan and everybody at Heat's like always talking about the custom websites and everything. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, BeatStars is cool. You can totally sell beats on BeatStars. Like
Mhm.
thousands of people do it all the time, and it's not affecting their sales and everything. But it's like when you get into the custom websites and you have like full control over everything, not just like that pro page template, like then
Right.
you can really treat it like a business.
Yeah, of course. And I still have BeatStars. I haven't uploaded like type beats and sold beats in so long because I've just been focusing on products. But um even for BeatStars, like on my website, I have a beat section and it's just my BeatStars page. Like I still sell beats through there, but I just have it there to have it. I really don't focus on selling beats as much anymore. Um but definitely for products, and even if you do just sell beats, I think getting a website and doing it that way is definitely more beneficial.
Yeah, for sure. Did you used to have a type beat channel or? Oh yeah, you did,
Yeah,
right?
I had a type beat channel, but it was so weird. I could never get monetized on it for some reason. It just gave me like monetization was just automatically disabled for that channel forever. I had like close to 1,000 subs, but I like deleted everything off that channel, and then I made my tutorial one. I have another type beat channel, but I've only had it for a few months, and I have like 6 beats on there. I haven't been consistent on it at all. But yeah, so I had the type beat one for a little bit. I was posting on there for about a year or two. Switched to the tutorial one, and then yeah, I haven't really looked back since. But maybe I'll get back into type beats someday. Like I have a ton of beats just sitting on my computer I'm doing nothing with, which I should probably upload. So we'll see. I'll probably get back into it at some point, but right now it's just focusing on content, how to make beats, how to sound like this artist, and just focusing on all those.
Yeah, that's what I've been liking about your content because you do more than just like the producer tutorial, like kind of normal kind of thing. You also do the sound like an artist type of videos.
Yeah.
And also I've seen you like kind of play around with like the kind of documentary style videos
Yeah,
where
I love entertainment content. That's like
yeah,
something I've looked at getting into in the future. Because the way I look at it is if I want to stay on YouTube, you kind of got to pick a side. And I feel like you can only grow with how to or how to make beats like this artist, how to make like for so long until you eventually have to go into entertainment. Like Kyle Beats, for example. He does production style videos, but they're all like in the entertainment niche, I would say now. Like finding an
yeah,
artist and like this artist hit me up on Instagram, whatever, right? It's all like entertainment based. Um, and I just love documentary videos. I love Patrick CC, Tuv, Maddie Balls, like all those guys. And I've always been interested in making those kind of videos, like even before I did YouTube. So definitely something I've experimented with. I'm going to experiment more this year. Um, but majority of my audience is here for the tutorials, so that's something I can't just throw away. So I'm
yeah.
gonna do both, and just balance the two.
Yeah, no, you can tell it from watching your content that like you're pretty hip on the current what's trending on YouTube and what works on the platform and everything versus what doesn't, and kind of like bring that into your own style of producer content, which is really like that's why I like it a lot, pretty much,
Yeah,
because it's 2023 and making content is great, but a lot of producers are still making like the how to tune your 808 videos and
right. Yeah, I just feel like it's been done. It's been done so many times. That's another thing why I like niches, because a lot of producers that make content are like, oh, I can't do a how to make your 808 sound better video because it's been done so many times. But if you do how to make your plug and B 808 sound better, you could do that. Or 808s that are best for plug and B. I'm just using plug and B as an example. You can do whatever. But I'm saying that is a niche version of that same topic, but it just has not as many views on it. So you could look at things that way if you need ideas.
yeah, no, for sure. Pax is the best smelling YouTube producer. Is that
Hey
true?
man, I like to think so. I mean, all these other producers don't take showers, so I feel like I'm definitely up there. Gunner approves. He put the arrows. He has in
Yeah, no,
person proof. So I like to think I'm up there. I'm definitely top three. Not three or two, but I'm definitely top three. So yeah, I'll take it. I'm glad someone pointed it out. Because I really work hard on how I smell.
yeah, yeah. It's good you came onto the platform to clear that up.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the main reason I'm here.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's all a plant. Like we can end it now. No,
Yeah,
I'm
stream's
playing. I'm
over,
playing.
guys.
Yeah, we made the point.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, I'm gonna keep talking with Pax here for a little bit, but we're gonna do a Q&A here in a little bit, guys. So if anybody has any questions, like how does Pax smell so good? How does he make his videos so good? Like go ahead and start dropping them in the comments down below. But yeah, yeah, where do you find inspiration from with like making products? And you said that you kind of like make it of what you like and what you're good at and what you would sell. So it's not like you're kind
Yeah.
of like being sleazy about it, like just making another recycled drum kit. But like,
Right.
where do you look for inspiration to kind of like keep it new and fresh? Because there's only so many drum kits we can make. There's only so many loop
Yeah,
kits.
honestly,
You know?
I haven't made a loop kit in a while, but for my most recent drum kit ambience, it's like all customized sounds. And I don't know how to really explain. I don't really get inspiration from how drums sound in a certain way. I'll be listening, like I find new artists and like I'll listen to the producers that make those beats and I'm like, how do they do that? Like what are they doing that's different that makes this beat so good, right? And then I'll take inspiration from that, like how the entire instrumental sounds, and be like, okay, how can I make drum sounds that are similar that people would want to use that aren't already done? Like, I'm not going to add, a spin Z808 and the classic clap and, Z808s when those are in every single kit, right? So I experiment with tons of effects on FL. Like, some of my sounds are just from things in my room. Like, I'll use my tongue like this Like that's one of my sounds on my kit, and I just drowned it out with a shit ton of reverb and like convolver. Um, I just have fun with it, man. I treat it like I'm opening FL for the first time and I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'll make a sound and then click an effect that I have no idea what the effect is, and then I'll mess with it until, unless obviously if it's a bad effect, I'll pick something else. But I'll just go through and click random like VSTs and effects I've never used before, and just experiment with it. I think that's the probably the best way to find new sounds. And if you want to make your style of production more unique, is just experiment with everything that you don't know already. Like everyone knows Fruity Reverb, everyone knows Delay 3 and Delay Bank, but if you experiment with flangers and Valhalla and all like tons of things down the list, you can really make a unique sound. So that's what I do for most of my drum kits, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. You know the plugin Infiltrator?
I do not. Better put
It's
me
kind of
on.
like
Let me
a
look it up.
multi-effects, kind of like Effectrix or Looperator kind of thing,
Okay,
but it's
I
got like
love
a
Liberator.
yeah, yeah, it's kind of like Looperator on steroids, but like it's
Hmm.
got like a randomized button where it's just like it clicks to a random preset, and I've been using that for like sound design stuff, like just make something random and then just click random presets until I find something that's cool.
That's wild. So you can just like keep refreshing it over and over until you get something you like.
Yeah, like I've been doing that with melodies, just like make a
Yeah,
melody
yeah.
and then like bounce that out, whatever, and then I'll bring it back in, play with it more, and then throw on Infiltrate and just see what happens.
I feel like so many producers now, it's like they just try random shit. So if someone's like, "How'd you make this? Like, how'd you come up with it?" It's like, I don't know. I just like made this melody, then clicked randomize on this effect. You know, like you just did it. You just do something till it sounds cool. You know, I feel like that's the you just gotta have fun with it. That's what I learned from this because I was at a point where making beats was just boring for me, and I just didn't like making beats. And that sucks because at the time that's all the content I was making. So I'd have to make beats to make videos. Um, but if you just have fun with it and just mess around and try certain things, like you'll get past beat block, you'll get past the like you'll start to the best feeling is when you hear a beat and then that makes you want to make a beat. And when you have that consistently, it's just like the most fun thing you can go through. Just making beats that you want to make and trying new things every time. It keeps it fresh, keeps it fun.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely best to like keep doing what's like the most entertaining for you because you know
Yeah.
it's really easy. I don't know like if you've dealt with like burning out or anything like that before, but you know it's real easy when you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Not that, but just like making content does get repetitive no matter what you do, you know?
Oh yeah,
So it really
100%.
is easy.
I feel like I was there when I first started. This is in 2021, in the summer of 2021 in August. I was like, okay, if I want to grow, I got to upload a lot. So I uploaded every day. My videos were not good. I didn't know how to edit. So I didn't know any shortcuts. It took me like 2 hours to make a 3-4 minute video. Um, but I would just, and that's just cuts. Like there's not even good edits on there. It's just like me cutting them, bad cuts, everything. But and I was just making like how to sound like or how to make a beat like this artist, how to make a beat like this artist every day for like 30 days, right? And then after that point, I got burnt out, super burnt out, and it was I'm glad it happened early because it made me realize like okay, if I'm gonna make content consistently, it's got to be stuff that I actually want to make because I got like a weekend and I was like, "Oh, I got to upload a video. And then I just sat down and did it. Right. I would force myself to do it pretty much. You don't want that, especially when you're in a creative field. Like, obviously, you got to be consistent. You got to upload consistently, but make it fun. Like, I changed it where I don't do this every time, but I want to implement it more where I add like small skits into my tutorials. Like, I'll have like
Oh
someone come out
yeah.
of the closet or like someone comes in my room. You know what I mean? It just keeps it interesting. Like, the viewer will be like watching how to make this beat, playing the 808s, and then someone just comes in the room and that's a skit. Like, it just keeps them engaged, keeps the watch time up because people aren't leaving 30 seconds in when the beat gets cut off and someone walks in the room. You know what I mean? It's just different. It keeps them super engaged.
Yeah, I forgot about those. I think the ones you did with Octo, those ones were pretty funny.
Yeah, and like that just happened because we were just bored, man. Like I live super close. Like I've known Octo like my whole life pretty much. And we were like, yeah, what if you just like broke into my house while I was making a beat? He was like, yeah. And I was like, all right. And we recorded in like 20 minutes. And that was it. This is super fun to make.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out Octo. He makes really good content too.
Yeah, Octo's a goat.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, we kind of touched on this earlier too, like when we were talking about like making how to sound like so and so type of artist. And you've been big like on the vocal presets.
Yeah.
which, I'm sure you kind of like got a little bit of a like insider kind of thing or just know how from being friends with Gunner and all that.
Yep.
But like, how have you noticed like making that kind of content mixed in with like the more standard producer content that you do? Like, what affects or how do you think that affects your channel and your
Um,
audience?
Honestly, I feel like it does nothing but help because I do the streams. I stream every Friday where I listen to people's music, and that includes artists and producers, right? So if I only make producer based videos for those streams, I'm mostly gonna have producers. Um, but doing the artist videos where how to sound like this person or all of those, it brings a broader audience in that's still music related because a lot of producers want to rap, and I look at it two ways: where artists that already rap can learn from me, and producers that maybe want to start rapping can also learn from me that way. Um, so yeah, it goes both ways. And there's artists that want to learn how to make beats too, right? So I feel like niching it all together, or not niching it, grouping them all together, um, is a really good way to go when all my content revolves around the underground, and that includes beats and how to sound like the artist. So it's been good for my channel. I've got a good mixture of producers in my live streams. I got a good mixture of artists in my live streams. It's just a cool dynamic, and I'm super glad I took it that way because it's also a good break from making a beat and sitting down and making that video because I get to it's a little bit different making an artist video versus making a producer video. Um, and I enjoy it. I like the mixture, so I'm definitely gonna keep those up in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And live streaming is another thing that you've been killing it at too. Like I always see you going live on Fridays with all that. Like, how does that fit into your overall YouTube strategy?
My strategy right now is even when I didn't have a strategy, sometimes I wouldn't upload for a whole week, but I always knew I was gonna live stream on Fridays, regardless, because it's got to a point now where my audience knows like 1 p.m. Eastern, like 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern every Friday, I'm gonna be live unless I say otherwise. So as of right now, I'm trying to like upload as much as I can. I'll go like a main content video and then a short, or I guess long form content's a better word. So I'll like switch between those. I'm uploading both. Um, and then I'll live stream every Friday, and it's really good because like Friday is like end of the week, everyone's off of school, and I usually see a view boost and a sub boost on Fridays because the live streams just gets everybody engaged. You got a sub to be in the chat, which is a very nice tip. If you live stream on YouTube, make sure you set it to where they have to subscribe to type in the chat. Um, you will gain a lot more subscribers that way. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I just love doing it, and it's become like a root, not I guess a routine, but it's become a staple of my channel where everyone that subscribes knows I'm going to be live every Friday, and it's just cool to see like the same familiar people in the chat every time, and it's really fun.
No, yeah, that sounds sick. And that's a gem. I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah, you can change it to subscriber only chat, and they have to subscribe to type in the chat.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about that, but if anybody has any other questions they want to ask for PAX, just go ahead and start dropping them in the comments because we're gonna start going through those in a little bit. But yeah, no, going live is a super awesome way to connect with your audience, especially if you do it on a schedule like that consistently. Like I'm sure you build like a crazy bond with them.
Yeah, no, there's tons of I have tons of subs that I've been live streaming for over a year now, and there's people have been in the chat for over a year since I started, right? And you just get close with those people. Like some of my earliest viewers are mods in my chat now. I've met a few of them in person. Like it's really cool. Like it's a cool feeling to like meet someone that has been subscribed to your channel and watched you for that long. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, it's crazy. You're gonna have the PAX meet and greet
Yeah, maybe one
soon.
day that would be
Yeah.
cool.
We got I don't know how to say that name, so I'm not gonna butcher it, but Fidelos
Philodosiclitis.
Philodosiclitis. I still can't say it after you said it. But he said, "Will a tubular bell automatically transfer your beat to a Yeet type beat?"
No, dude, the tubular bell is so overused. Okay, like Yeet Beats got put to the like 6 feet under, bro. Like at least those ones. Like his style now, where it's like more Benny Eeks, Benny X style, where it's like
Benihana.
funkier, Benny Hanna. But it's like you know what I mean, where it's like there's like more bounce. No, it's not aggressive in your face. Kind of like Out the Way by Yeet.
Yeah.
Um, those I feel like are the future of Yeet type beats and what people should be still focusing on because I get people sending me beats in when I stream, and it's just like Too Alive and Up to Me type beats where it's super like large sounding synth, and then the bell hitting. It's like I feel like I've heard this beat like a million times already, and it's just like that era of Yeet type beats, in my opinion, is over. And you can still make those beats, it's fine, but don't expect to grow that way when it's such a saturated market. Like Yeet type beats blew up when they were probably like, I think it was top 5 most searched type beats for the year of 2022, something like that. It was up there.
Yeah, it
Um,
makes sense.
and like there were just so many of them, and I would recommend not using it. If you're gonna use it in a cool way. But you know, I don't think it'll transform your beat into a Yeet type beat.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the things that I've noticed about kind of like the underground and that kind of niche in producing, whereas like once there's a new sound or a new artist that comes out, like they kill that like
Yeah,
right
dude,
away.
they put it into the dirt, bro. They take over and they do not let it go.
For real.
This is how it is.
Like that new sound gets overdone the next day.
Yeah, like right now it's like the Dom Corleo like chopped and sample beats. They're getting
Yeah.
absolutely murdered, bro. There's so many of them. Like I still like those beats, but it's like they're getting the Yeet effect right now. Not as big as the Yeet effect was, but it's getting there.
Yeah, no, they're still getting that treatment.
Yeah, they're getting that treatment 100%.
Yeah, because I think people are kind of catching on, like how we're talking about earlier, to come in when things are new and fresh and hot. So obviously those Dom Corleo beats, those hard rock, the
Yeah, Destroy
current.
Lonely. I like
Yeah.
Opium sound. Um, Not even, you don't even have to be an opium artist in opium, but like that kind of sound of like Destroy Lonely, hard rock, Rowan Thrax, Dom Corleo, and like Homicide Gang, pretty much like all those kind of beats are what's popping right now. And I feel like within 6 months, it's probably gonna be dead. I'm not gonna lie, but I hope it's not. I hope like it switches up and like something new happens. But they're getting super overdone as of recently.
Yeah, I've been noticing like the trends come and go a lot faster. Like,
Yeah, like Jersey
especially
Club
like,
went quick.
oh yeah.
Like Jersey Club, like it's still around, but like there was like a month or two where everyone was just uploading Jersey Club type beats, and like you would scroll on Instagram or YouTube, and that's all you would hear. It's just that one kick pattern over and over and over again. But
Yeah, like those producers, like it's like sharks in the water. It's like the new sound, they smell blood.
yeah, they just all flock to it, man. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no. As far as like YouTube and like your strategy going forward, like you've been doing this for a few years now. So like I guess first I just want to ask like what have you noticed changing like from when you first started YouTube to now? And like what is your strategy going forward for everybody? Like if someone wants to get started with YouTube and making content, like what are some things they can keep an eye out for to make the beginning a little bit easier for them?
yeah. I would say if you're trying to get into it and you want to grow quickly, learn how to be comfortable on camera and learn how to edit first. Now, everyone's gonna be awkward on camera unless they have previous experience. But for instance, like I'm already comfortable with it now. So if I were to start a new channel, I could get to 5K subs a lot quicker than it took me to get my channel now to 5K subs because I know what people want to see. Um, I know how to be comfortable. I know that subtitles are a big one. A lot of things. If you're getting into editing, I recommend using Premiere because they have automatic captions and that saves you a lot of time. Especially if you're making shorts because you want captions on the screen if you're making shorts. You can just transcribe your text and then captions pop up automatically. And you can change the size and stuff, and some of the words are going to be off, so you can go in and change them. But it's way quicker than going text box by text box over and over and over again for the entire video. Like I've been there, I've done that. I was on Sony Vegas for a long time doing that, and definitely not worth it doing it that way. Um, my strategy really, I don't really know if it's too much of a strategy. I'm just trying to be consistent. I want to be different. I want to still do tutorials, but I'm going to keep the tutorials fun. I'm going to, like I said before, add skits in there, add like random pop-ins that wouldn't normally happen. Just like keep them funny, keep the watcher on their toes. Like it keeps them engaged throughout the whole video. Um, but back to if you're just starting out, definitely get comfortable. Get a webcam first of all. Don't do this and then be like, "Hey guys, this is how to make this kind of beat." And then just have FL Studio on the screen. Like that's not going to do you any favors. People's attention span are way too small to be able to do that anymore, right? So at least get a webcam if you're first starting out. Um, and I would say just upload consistently. Just I think shorts are a good way to grow when you're starting out because it's just everyone's scrolling on YouTube Shorts, everyone's on TikTok. Another thing, if you're making shorts, also post them on TikTok too. You might as well because they're all the same format already. Um, so that's one thing you can kill two birds with one stone if you're uploading on YouTube Shorts, also upload on TikTok, and then vice versa. And I think the main thing for me, I can't really preach too much because the only thing I really did was just stay consistent. I think that's the only thing I can really say too much about. Is just the more you upload, the more rewards you're going to see in the future, right? So if you just stay consistent, it doesn't have to be every day. It'd be ideally you could upload a short every day. They're not too long to make. But if you're consistently uploading good content, I said this earlier, if you're consistently uploading good content, you're gonna see progress eventually. So that's what I recommend. But definitely get comfortable on camera and get comfortable editing before you start uploading, just so you have a little bit of an edge compared to the new competition. And another thing I would say is get videos ready before you start uploading. Like if you have no uploads on your channel and it's brand new, make like 10 to 20 videos before you upload one and just have them ready. Because if you haven't uploaded yet, there's no point in uploading one and then that viewer will go to your channel and realize you have no other content. So they're going to see that one video and then there's going to be nothing else. But if you have 10, 15, 20 videos already out and already ready, that viewer's going to have more things to watch. So just like set yourself up for success pretty much. Don't just start a YouTube channel, expect good things, upload once, and then, wait 2 days and upload again. Just stay consistent with it.
Yeah, for sure. No, you just dropped a lot of gems there. Like, what's that phrase? The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah, I live by that.
Yeah,
The
that's
harder
pretty
you work,
much
the luckier they say you get, man. Yeah, that's
that's
how it
pretty
is.
much what YouTube success is, pretty much, really.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
there's
consistency. There's no secrets. There's no keywords or magic
yeah.
titles or.
I forget who I was talking to someone about this, but I chose Speed as an example because they're like, oh, he blew up so quick, he's getting like 1 million followers in a month, but like he was live streaming every day for months before that. Like when he had a few hundred to a few thousand subscribers, they don't see that. They see when you get to the point where you're getting 1 million subscribers in a month. I'm like, oh, he blew up so quick, he's lucky. But it's like
Mhm.
if you're working every day by day, you're going to get better and that's like you're going to get luckier. Like no one sees the time where you're getting 5 subscribers in a day. They're seeing when you're getting 5 subscribers every 10 seconds, right? And then that's when they call you lucky pretty much.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. We got a question here from Not Funny Soham. He asked, "At what point in your journey should you hire an editor? Is that something you do, or you still edit your videos?"
I still have my video. It depends. It depends on the person. Like I enjoy editing for the most part. Sometimes I don't, but there's tons of YouTubers that are massive that still edit their own content. I feel like you really don't need an editor unless you're at the point where you're making so much content in a day that it only makes sense for your time, or if you have like a massive channel. But um, like Corey Kenshin, for example, he has like like almost 20 million subscribers. He still edits all his own content. He could get a. I feel like it's part of being a YouTuber, right? It's just like part of the journey is editing your own videos and getting better at that. And I think it's a different answer depending on the person. But for me, I don't think I would get an editor for a while.
Yeah, I think like because especially like back in the OG days of YouTube, like it was all DIY, you know?
That's what I
Like,
mean. It's become more corporate now, but it used to
yeah,
be like you get on your phone, record very like school quality cuts, and it was just like how it was. But it's become way different now. You got like Mr. Beast doing crazy like game show type stuff on
yeah.
YouTube. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, as the production value goes up and like that kind of like traditional type of media structure comes in, like then yeah, again, editor makes sense and all that. But it's like I
Yeah,
feel like a lot of people skip out on that initial being a creator?
right. Yeah, you gotta be a creator yourself to know because if you get an editor, you're not gonna know what to ask for. You can't be like doing that and then or sorry, you can't record a video, have no editing experience, and then send it off to an editor and be like, yeah, like you're not going to know what you want to do with the video. So even if the editor is great, he's going to ask you what you want, and like, do you want these kind of cuts? Do you want like sound effects here, here, here? You're not really going to know. So I think the best way to start out for sure is editing your own videos, at least so you're at like, I don't think I would get an editor till I'm maybe 50,000 subscribers plus, and even then I don't think I would get one.
Yeah, well, you probably can't even put a sub marker on it. Like you said, it's
That's
when
what I
your
mean. It depends on
workflow.
the person. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
just
all
depends
gonna
on the
be up to
person.
when. Yeah, it's important to know when to delegate, but you don't wanna be doing
Yeah,
that kinda stuff too soon, you know?
yeah.
I think that kinda does take away some of the personality. And also, not funny, Soham, I don't do the actual Heat videos, so, I can't tell you
Troy
that.
is Heat. He's all of
I'm
Heat.
not I'm not Mr. Heat, I'm Troy. But, yeah, no. Clovis says, or no, we don't gotta ask that, but, yeah, no. But yeah, no, I don't do the Heat content, but I do edit my own stuff for all that. But I also do know the value of delegating
Mhm.
stuff and where my strengths lie as a creator and a producer. Do you delegate anything for like your process?
Not really, no. I've had like minor things. Like I had one of my friends recently because I'm gonna do a documentary video soon. I had one of my friends because he loves writing. I had him write a script for me. But, like that was just like a one-time thing. That was like really it. But I yeah, everything else I do myself. I make all my thumbnails, edit all my videos. Um, yeah, that's really it. I paid him. Or I'm gonna pay him to do this one script and see how that goes. Because I really just didn't want to. I hate writing. That's the one thing. Um, so yeah, I just got him to do it, but that was just for like one video that I haven't even made yet. But everything else I just do myself.
Yeah, you gotta get Chat GPT.
Yeah, dude, I've had it for a while. That shit doesn't work for me. It just gives me an error. It's like Chat GPT is currently down, and it's been like that for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's always
I,
down.
yeah, I was gonna do a video on it. I had like a video planned, and it was working the day before. And then I was like, that night I wrote a script on like a video I want to do, and then the next day, and since then I haven't been able to get on it. So I just couldn't do the video. Now the hype is kind of like died from when it first came out. So it kind of sucks. That video is like in the gutter, but it's all right. Go to the next one.
Yeah, for sure. It's just the most important thing, just keep on going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But now I want to keep chopping it up for you for a little bit. But if anybody has any last questions for Pax, now is the time to go ahead and drop them down below in the comments. Probably gonna cut it here in like 10 minutes or so. But yeah, as far as like delegating stuff, I think the only thing I do is like I like hire graphic designers for my loop kit stuff.
Hmm.
But that's pretty much it so far.
Yeah, I've thought about that. Like I've hit up people before. All the stuff on my website I've made myself. Like except for one, Octo did the art for our loop kit we did together. Um, but I think for the future when I release my own kits, I'm gonna do the art myself. Cause that's another thing. Like you want to learn, even if you're just a producer or a content creator, having those skills is very valuable. Like being able to edit videos, you can outsource that to be edited for someone else, or knowing how to make thumbnails or graphic design. You learn all these skills if you do all the content yourself. And then even if YouTube doesn't work out, you could still be an editor. Like for instance, if I stop making YouTube videos, I could still look for an editing job. I could become a graphic designer. There's tons of other fields I could go into, right? So it's just like the more skills you can learn early on, the better you're gonna be later on.
No, yeah, that's facts. Like I've learned so many things doing this producer thing full time in the last few years and pursuing it for even longer that I didn't even like consider that I'd ever be getting into,
Right.
just like off of my goals of what I want to achieve.
Hmm.
And being a YouTuber is almost in a way being like a one man media company.
Yeah. At this point in time, yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure. But it can definitely be rewarding, as we both know from people we know and are friends
Oh
with.
yeah, 100%.
But yeah. Yeah, it looks like we don't have any other questions so far, but is there anything else like you wanted to bring up before we get to closing and everything?
Hmm.
Anything you want to promote or
Uh,
shout out?
I don't gotta promote other than my channel. I'm not gonna like hey guys, go to my website and buy all my products. No, I'm just gonna. My YouTube is in the description. If you guys want to learn how to make beats, you want to learn how to sound like a certain artist. My YouTube is Pakzz. It's once again linked in the description of this live. I think you got my Instagram too there. Like,
Mhm.
I don't really need to shout anything else, but at PropPax on Instagram, at Pax on YouTube. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, everybody make sure you go check out Pax, go sub, go follow on Instagram. He makes really great content, so you definitely want to stay hip to that. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on and making time for this.
Yeah, thank you for having me once again.
Of course, yeah. We're going to go ahead and edit now. Thank everybody. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Or oh, it looks like we got
We got
one
one
last
more. Yeah.
question. Yeah. Pantsless Prod. We'll go ahead and answer this last question real quick. He says, "Can you make a beat channel by working by uploading more than one type of beats?" Yeah. So just do you think you can make beat channels work with multiple genres?
Multiple, yeah. I think you can, but like Troy knows this best out of anybody. It's like if you're consistent with maybe a group of like maybe 4 artists, I think that's like a sweet spot because um, I feel like going out of a certain genre um, that isn't like you haven't uploaded before can be kind of risky. Like if you have a certain genre that's working for you, like for instance for you with Sofago type beats and like Autumn type beats, if you're uploading those every day and then one day you're like, I want to make a Yeet type beat, and then it doesn't do as well, it's like it kind of makes sense. You can make it work, but I feel like the best way to make it work is upload consistently with a small group of artists, and then you can branch out when you have a couple thousand subs if you really want to. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Maybe sticking to I can see like if you're doing it depends on the style because if you're doing underground, you could do a plug and beat type beat and then do a rage type beat at the time. Like those were both very not similar sound wise, but similar demographic. So that way I would say, yeah, you could do that. But if you're doing like alternative rock and then you're doing a 90s hip hop type beat in the same channel, like that's not gonna mesh well together.
Yeah, no, 100% what you just said. Like I like how you mentioned I came up off of like the Sofago type stuff, and back then like what would perform the best was Sofago and plug and B type stuff.
Yeah,
So I had learned from posting for years before that, like keep sticking with what works. So I
exactly.
stayed on that. I didn't post anything else, and you got to really commit to it and like keep that in mind before you start like because you're gonna be like, if you want to really take off, you're gonna be posting the same type of music for like, you gotta
Yeah.
be prepared to do it for like 6 months to a year, if not
Yeah,
more. You
at
know?
some points you're not gonna like it, like, but you're not gonna you can't really like a lot of producers burn out, but you can't like if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel or grow a business or like grow any kind of platform, you can't upload it and get burnt out and leave for 2 weeks. Like you got to do the work as like when you don't want to do it as well to really like surpass your competition. Because if you look at it this way, if you don't upload one day, your competition might, right? So he's already outworking you for that day, but there's always someone who's not who sorry there's always someone who is still working even when they feel like they don't want to work, and those are the people that are the most successful.
Yeah, 100%. That's what messed me up because I just kept pushing through the burnout, and I burned out like so many times and just
Yeah,
ignored my physical and mental well being and just kept pushing it for the money. But then obviously that led to its own problems and stuff. And it led to me not uploading, which,
right,
led to the channel declining, which, I am getting back to posting beats now, but luckily that's not my main focus anymore
right.
because,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
so
so
burnt out after
yeah.
years of doing that. But,
Yeah, if you get to a point where you feel like you're burnt out, there's the best thing I think the worst thing to do is stop completely. Like if you're uploading every day and you feel like you don't want to do it anymore, or not that you don't want to do it anymore, but you want to take a break, upload every other day or upload 3 times a week. Like still don't let your channel just, flat out die. Because if you upload every day and you keep uploading every day until you're completely burnt out, you're not going to want to upload at all. Right. So I think if you do take a break, still have a consistent upload schedule if you can. So then when you do want to come back fully, like your views and channel in a whole like hasn't completely dropped. Right. So it'll make a lot more sense to do it that way.
yeah, I had just started posting again recently, but I was just kind of posting just whatever because I was just doing it just however I wanted to, not following whatever the algorithm wanted or anything.
Mhm.
and I had posted a plugin B beat for the first time in like a long time, and it was like an instant like 1 out of 10, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. That's why you guys are here
That's
and you're
yeah.
subbed.
You gotta know what your subscribers want to see. If you guys are trying to like grow on YouTube, not even just producer wise, just like YouTube content in general, Film Booth is a really good channel. If you guys haven't seen
Yeah,
them, like they're a really really good channel. All about knowing like you got to know who your viewers are and what they want to see, and that's the best way to grow because then YouTube will recommend that content to more people like your viewers. That's how it all works.
yeah. I like how you brought up Film Booth because it's really important to consume more than just producer content on
Yeah.
YouTube because the platform is just so much bigger than our little niche.
Oh yeah, 100%. We're not
Yeah.
even barely a fraction of the size of YouTube, right? It's a very small niche in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, 100%. But to pretty much sum up your question, Pantelis, you kind of want to stick to similar styles, similar genres, and just keep it to a small, similar sound. Just that's what works best. And you kind of want to play around with it and try different things and see what works. And then look at the analytics and stick to what does better than the other content and then go from there and keep refining it over time. But definitely put some thought into what you want to make for the next year of your life pretty consistently because it's gonna bite you in the ass if you don't.
Yeah, 100%.
And you're like making 90s boom bap type beats and you hate it. And then it's like I gotta keep making this because how
That's what
else am I
my
gonna feed
yeah.
myself?
I need to keep doing it, and it's just you hate it the whole
Yeah.
time.
But yeah, no, this was a great stream. Thank you again for coming in. This was good chopping up with you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Thank you everybody for showing up. Shout out Riley. I'll talk to you later,
Coming Troy
bro.
W.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you guys for showing up, and we'll see you next week for the next episode. See you guys later.
See ya.